Guys, before we get into the NFL Presidential Address, which will start in just 2 minutes, I want to tell you right off the top, I have an incredible promotion for all of you guys. My entire NFL season and playoffs, regular price, $524. It is yours for only $299. That is the lowest we have ever sold an NFL season and playoffs for only $299. The promo code that you need to use is blowout299. That's blowout299. You can use that at my personal page at wagertalk.com. And please keep in mind, we are only going to allow the first 10 users this offer. So I promise you, we will sell more than 10. So head over to WagerTalk ASAP. Take advantage of that promotion. Blowout $299 for my NFL season and playoffs. Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Presidential Address. It is week 3. I am coming off a nice winning week 2 for my clients. And also in the show, 4-2 in best bets so far, 2-0 in teasers. But really, most importantly, guys, I cannot thank you enough for the love that I'm getting in the comment section on YouTube. Over 10,000 views each of the last 2 shows. I am so proud of that. It is hard to do these shows alone. I didn't know what to expect, but the NFL Presidential Address continues to be one of the most listened to and watched shows at wagertalk.com. So shout out to all of you guys. Thanks so much for making that happen. And especially to the guys who are saying that they enjoy the show with me alone. That means the world to me. I was very nervous about doing this. Anyway, let's get into week 3. We're going to go through every game on the board, top to bottom. Then Andy Lang's going to be joining us for our prop bet segment as well. I'll be giving you 3 best bets at the end of the show, a teaser for you all, and a survivor thought. Well, let's start with Thursday Night Football. The Carolina Panthers -8 going into Houston. The total is 43, and it was -7.5 yesterday. So clearly there is money coming in on the Panthers, and rightfully so. The theme of this entire show, guys, is going to be the word help. So let's start with that. Help. Have all paramedics available at the game as Mills will wilt under pressure. And that, my friends, is a pun, because not only will he wilt under pressure, it is likely he will have 100 bloody welts because of the pressure. Oh my God, I feel bad for this guy. Number 1 D in all of football, Carolina. Their rushing, their quarterback rushing has been ridiculous. I mean, the amount of pressure they're going to put on this rookie quarterback is going to be deadly. I fear for the guy's life. Not the game I would want to start my NFL career, and that's for sure. Houston 1-1 on the season, and let's be honest here, they were right in it against Cleveland last week up until Taylor went down. Panthers 2-0 on the season and just laid the smackdown on the New Orleans Saints last week. Panthers offense, interesting. You're going to hear this word a few times, Bill Parcells. Their offense looks so good in a Bill Parcells kind of a way. They aren't trying to throw long bombs. They're not trying to stretch the field. They are simply focused on ball control and moving the chains. Sam Darnold, over 200 yards in each game. Not incredible, but most importantly, he hasn't made a mistake. My pick on this game, I like the under, guys, and I like the Panthers as well. I don't normally take under 43 and a favorite over a touchdown, but man, 27-6, 27-9, 27-13. There's so much room to get both the under and Carolina. That's where we're going for Thursday Night Football. Next up is Arizona, -7 versus Jacksonville. The total is 51.5 as it stands now. There's money coming in on the over in this game. So if you guys are looking to bet the over, bet it soon. I expect that to continue to move up. As for the word help, it's as in Jacksonville needs a whole lot of it. Oh my God, this Jacksonville team. I mean, it's not Lawrence and Meyer's fault that they're so bad. Frankly, they just have no weapons anywhere. I mean, how scared could teams be when Marvin Jones is your number one wide receiver and your running back and tight end are who exactly? They also have a terrible O-line, and their D is currently being rebuilt and will be rebuilt again next year. Arizona's offense, incredible. Kyler Murray might be playing the best football in the league right now. Just absolutely unstoppable. I mean, if they don't turn the ball over, they can score on every drive. The interesting thing is their D looked so good in week 1 and so bad in week 2. We're going to need a few more games to figure out exactly what this defense is made of. With that said, a 2-0 Arizona Cardinals team, lucky to win the last game against Minnesota, but this is what I am looking for. I love when good teams win a game because of a fluke missed field goal, and then we get to bet them the following week. I feel like Arizona had their stinker. I feel like it's one of those golf shots where you're on the tee, you totally mishit the ball, but the fairway is a downhill slope and the ball rolls 200 yards. You feel like an idiot. You're mad as hell, but everything worked out fine. That's where Arizona stands right now. And my pick on this game is Arizona minus the 7. And I also like over the total. I look at this game as 41 to 17/24 type of a score. I think Arizona, I'm not kidding, guys. I think Arizona is going to get into the high 30s, low 40s. I think they should just leave their punter on the airplane. Next game is Baltimore versus Detroit. And, well, help wanted. Can anybody on Detroit stop the run? This Detroit team is absolutely abysmal on defense right now, especially against the run. Aaron Jones just ate them alive last week. Detroit, though, they've played 2 games, and one of them was almost perfect. The problem is it was the second half of game 1 and the first half of game 2, so it actually doesn't count. But the team is showing a little bit of life. And with all their new additions and a new quarterback, a new coach, a new system, I think this team is only going to get better as we move forward. And, you know, I understand that Goff had a really bad fourth quarter against Green Bay. But, look, he had a really good first quarter. That pass to the corner on the second touchdown was absolutely outstanding. I think this Detroit team is a team we need to look on and find value with. And I think there's value this week. We have a Baltimore team going on the road after probably the biggest regular season game in Lamar Jackson's career. I mean, getting the monkey off the back, beating Kansas City was absolutely huge. The problem is the Baltimore defense, they're just a complete mess right now. I mean, to give you perspective, the Baltimore defense, they are the worst team in the league in pass D, allowing an average of 376 yards a game. Literally the single worst team so far in the league. I actually look at this game and think, man, if Detroit's down by 14 points, they have the ball with 2 to go. That back door is going to be wide open for us, especially with Baltimore's porous defense right now. My pick on this game, Detroit plus 8 and over the total of 49.5, although we have seen a line move towards 50. So if you're going to be betting the over, please bet it soon. Next up is Washington versus Buffalo. And, well, help is needed at the QB position in Washington and needed now. Game 1 for Buffalo was a total anomaly. They are one of the best teams in all of football and a real Super Bowl contender. Frankly, game 2 wasn't even that great offensively for Buffalo, even though they put up 35 points. This is a much better team offensively than both game 1 and game 2. We know how good Buffalo's offense is, but check out their defense numbers. The Bills' last game were completely dominant. 6 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, 9 tackles for a loss, and 3 takeaways. I don't know how much better it gets than that. And they were playing Miami. Now, look, I get it. Tua went down. Brissett came in. Oh, yeah? Well, what's Heineke going to do? Absolutely nothing. I don't know what to make about this I don't know what to make of this Washington team yet. Their D should be so good. They are incredible on paper, yet they let the woeful Giants put up 29, and they were very undisciplined in the secondary. As for their offense, we don't even know who's going to start a QB yet, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm passing on this game, guys, but I do lean on Buffalo. So if you do want to make a bet on this game, take the Bills. Next up is New Orleans and New England. And, well, help, as in help us have a nap. Help is on the way. Don't worry, everybody. It's in the form of the New England Patriots. I mean, if there's any team that could put you to sleep this year, it is the New England Patriots. I mean, Mac Jones, look, he's looked really, really good. He's literally Trent Dilfering his way down the field. I'll move the chains 7 times between the 20s, and then I will kick a field goal. I will not fumble. I will not throw an interception, and nor will I throw the ball longer than 8 yards. I've been on the under in both New England games this year, and, well, both hit easy. This New England team, they're playing a Bill Parcells type ball control game like we haven't seen in years. Jones is doing everything they would want from him. 22 for 30 last week, 186 yards, no touchdown, no interception. But how good or bad are the Pats? Well, they lost their first game and were given a gift after gift after gift against Zach Wilson and the Jets. Now they step up and play what I consider to be a real football team, and a real football team who is coming off of a humiliating, embarrassing Week 2 loss. The Saints look like the best team in football Week 1. They're not nearly as good as they were in Week 1. They're not nearly as bad as they were in Week 2. The biggest issue for the Saints against the Panthers was really, and if you watch this game closely, it was the fact that the Panthers literally lived in the backfield. Winston was under immense pressure all game long. That will not happen against New England. For however good the New England defense is, they don't have any edge rushers. They don't pressure the quarterback, and Winston is going to have a lot of time. I am going to take the New Orleans Saints plus the 3 points. Guys, if you're betting New Orleans, you need to bet it immediately. I'm taping this show at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. There is already a 2.5 on the board. Get down on New Orleans at 3 the second you can. Next up is the Chargers versus Kansas City. LA Chargers plus 6.5. The total was 54.5. Yesterday on Tuesday, it was 55.5. So we are having money come in on the under. Help. Kansas City, they just put a help wanted ad out for people who can play defense, because they certainly don't have anybody in their team who can currently do that. 2 years ago, they won the Super Bowl despite their defense. Last year, they got to the Super Bowl despite their defense. But this year, it really looks like their D is even worse. They simply cannot stop anyone. We saw Cleveland march up and down the field on them. We saw Baltimore march up and down the field on them. And I think we're going to see the Chargers march up and down the field on them. I'm not betting this game, but I do lean on over the total. I would wait, see if this number can come down a little bit. 54 is a key number. But I do lean on over the total. I don't know who's going to stop who in this game, to be honest with you. Atlanta versus the Giants. Help. Just help. Help everything. Like a pure help is required for both of these teams. These are two teams that defy not knowing how to win a game perfectly. I mean, both need to move to the Canadian Football League or maybe Division I college football just to win a few games, just to understand the concept of winning a football game. I mean, the New York Giants last week freaking lose a game because their inside lineman was offside, jumped on the kick. I mean, can you come up with more ways to lose a football game? After looking like UL Monroe against Bama in week 1, the Falcons are a disaster. Okay, they were much better in week 2. Their offense finally started moving the ball, and their defense did create a little bit of pressure on Brady. But the Falcons and the Giants, I mean, my God, Falcons are 0-2. They actually can see a way to 3-2, guys. They got the Giants up now, Washington next week, and the Jets the week after. All 3 winnable games, but it must start on Sunday. The problem for the Giants in this game, well, they can't find a pass rush. Help! Giants looking for a pass rush. Anyway, Ryan's going to have a lot of time this week, and we did see him last week get the ball in the air and make some completions. He didn't look as anemic as week 1. Bottom line is, if neither of these teams know how to win a game, and both teams can't close a game, and both teams stink in the fourth quarter, well, we might as well just take the points. I like the Falcons at +3. Next up is Chicago versus Cleveland. Chicago +7. It was 7.5 on Tuesday. There's money coming in on the Bears. Cleveland, the total 46. It was 45.5 yesterday. Help, please. Don't let our new QB get killed in his first start. That's what Chicago is saying. After seeing how bad KC's D is, I think the Browns and the Bills both have a real shot at making the Super Bowl, and these are the games that the Browns have to win. With that said, the Browns defense, man, on paper should be lights out, but they're not looking very good at all. They allowed the woeful Texans to put up 21 points. The Browns team is going only as far as their D takes them, and this is the perfect game to fix how bad their defense has started. The Bears won a game last week, but barely. Now they look to run Fields out in his first start. Does it matter who their QB is? I mean, who are their wide receivers? Who's their tight end? This team will run the ball all day long, and frankly, that'll be their only chance of success. The Browns are going to get their points in every game they play. So if we can find them, even as a big fave against a team that struggles to score, we are looking to back Cleveland. There will be a ton of running in this game, with Cleveland boasting the best running game in football and the Bears, well, not able to throw the ball. Look to take Cleveland -7 and under the total again. I can see this game being, I can see Cleveland putting up, let's say, 24-31. I don't see the Bears putting up more than 17 maximum. So I'm thinking this game has like 27-13 written all over it. Look to take Cleveland -7 and under the total. Cincinnati going into Pittsburgh. Since he was +4.5 yesterday, and I got down on that play, I actually made that bet. Now they are +3, which means it has crossed the number of 4. That's a huge move. A ton of money is clearly coming in on the Bengals. The total is 44 in this game. And why is a ton of money coming in? Big Ben's injury. He's got a pec injury right now. He's expected to play. But, play like the guy had I don't know what, tiddlywinks? Like, I don't know what Big Ben is playing. Help! Pittsburgh's looking for an arm to attach to Big Ben's body. One of the keys to having a good season is figuring out, and when I say this from a betting perspective. One of the keys to winning in betting is to figure out who the really bad teams are. and I mean bad as in worse than the perception out there, and really jump on them, fade them. I bet the Vegas Raiders last week against Pittsburgh. My customers got a statement inside of my analysis that said take the Raiders on the money line as well. I was correct. I think this Pittsburgh team is a bottom 5 team in all of football, and yet here they are as a favorite. I think the Cincinnati team is better than them. I think, look, I mean, you're literally got a quarterback on Cincinnati that has 2 arms and a quarterback on Pittsburgh that has no arms. I'm taking the armed quarterback, if you will. Bottom line, Pitt is already injured. But if you don't have a quarterback, you're not going anywhere. They don't have a running game. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an O-line. Wow, this Pittsburgh team is just shit. Cincinnati, by the way, they could easily be 2-0. They had some bad luck last week against the Bears. Take the pick 6 out of the equation and Cincy out. Cincy's offense put up way more points than the Bears' offense. My pick on this game is the Bengals, and I also do like under the total. Now we move to Miami versus the Raiders. Help required at QB for the Dolphins as well. I do not believe in Jacoby Brissett. And with that said, I am really high on the Raiders right now. The interesting thing about the Raiders is Derek Carr is in sync. I mean, he is seeing the field before the plays happen. And that was most relevant on that incredible 61-yard pass to Ruggs against the Steelers, where he could have checked it down for a 20-yard. I wouldn't say check it down, but he had a guy that he could have thrown maybe 15 yards to get the first down underneath. Instead, he hurled the ball up to Ruggs on a 61-yard pass, and he threw the ball before the opening happened. Before Ruggs had beat his man, he just felt it, he knew it, and he laid it right into the breadbasket. Derek Carr is playing the best football of his career right now. Gruden has this team ticking. They are way more disciplined than they've been in the past. I don't see this game. I mean, I'm on Wager Talk today. I'm the host of that show with Teddy. We have guests on every day. You can find it 12 to 1 Eastern time. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, I forgot to give out my promo at the top of the show. Let me do it after I finish this. The bottom line is take the Raiders. Take the Raiders. Anyway, I have a promo for you guys. Blowout 299. That's Blowout 299. Guys, you can get my entire NFL season, the whole season and the playoffs for $299. Literally $299. The regular price is $524. This is only available to the first 10 people who buy it. I guarantee you we will sell all 10. So head over to wagertalk.com. Take advantage of that offer. Prez 299, $299 for my entire NFL season and playoffs. Let's move to the Jets versus Denver. Help! Zach Wilson, can he make it through this game? I mean, he threw 4 interceptions last week, and he wasn't even, pressured. He just stunk, for a lack of a better word. Now he has to deal with a top 5 D and a pass rush that is going to run that 5-year-old kid who hasn't shaved ragged. On a side note, I don't think I've ever seen a younger kid in the NFL in my life than how young Zach Wilson looks, but that is no relevance to betting. Look, I think the Jets are going to come in and play super conservative here. I think they've got to focus on running the ball. They've got to focus on check down passes. They cannot let Zach Wilson throw a whole bunch more interceptions. His confidence is going to get shattered quick. Nobody wants that. So look for a very conservative style offense from the New York Jets. Denver, on the other hand, this team looks really, really good on both sides of the ball. Bridgewater looks dangerous and is even throwing long bombs, while their D looks lights out. With that said, though, they did play the Giants and the Jags, so we really have to wait to see how good that defense actually is. Trevor Lawrence last week against that Denver D, 99 yards entering the fourth quarter. How much better is Zach Wilson going to do in this game? He didn't have to face Chubb and Miller last game. Now he does. Those guys are going to literally live in the backfield. My pick on this game, I lean on the under, guys. I am passing on the side because I don't take double-digit favorites. But if a gun was held to my head, Teddy would be pretty happy. But I would take Denver. Let's move to what would be considered the game of the week. Tampa Bay versus the Rams. And help, as in no help required at all. What a start to the season for Tampa Bay, and especially Gronk and Brady. Their offenses looked lights out, and I don't even think their D is trying yet. We saw this last year, guys. First 7-8 games, their D was mediocre at best. Then they put their foot down and were just sick from about week 10 all the way through the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay should have lost their first game. I told you guys that last week. There was a clear pass interference that would have put Dallas in field goal position to at least attempt a game-winning field goal at the end of the game. The refs missed it, and as so be it. Tampa Bay is now 2-0. They also let the Falcons back in a game that they were dominating by 18 points, and if Ryan didn't turn the ball over about 162 times in that fourth quarter, they might have lost that one too. I think Tampa Bay is awesome, don't get me wrong, but I actually think the Rams are a better team. Tampa Bay's issue last week is their pass D. And now they have let both the teams that they've played against put up over 300 yards against them. Matt Stafford is going to have a field day in this game. With that said, take it with a grain of salt, how bad their pass D is, because all you can do on Tampa Bay is pass. Nobody's going to run on this team. So by default, teams are going to get a lot of yards in the air. I love this Rams team. Their defense is lights out, especially at the goal line. Good luck running on them from the 2-yard line. Their pass offense is only getting better, and their coach is outstanding. Rams' number one issue is their running game, but that won't matter against Tampa Bay. As we spoke about, you don't run the ball against Tampa Bay anyway, and Matt Stafford will throw this ball all over the field. Bottom line, guys, Tampa Bay's not going undefeated this year. That you can take to the bank, and it seems like this is a really good spot to fade them, especially with New England Patriots up on deck next game for what could be Tom Brady's most important regular season game ever. Everyone wants to bet Brady right now. Everyone wants to bet the Bucs right now. What does that mean? There's a ton of value on the Rams. Tampa Bay -1. Give me the Rams. Give me them all day long. And I do lean on over the total, but it's just a very small lean. As for Seattle going into Minnesota, help. As in, help me find a pick on this game, because I can't. I literally have nothing to say about this game. So why don't I remind you all to use the promo code BLOWOUT299. $299 for the rest of my NFL season and playoffs. That is a steal. It is only available to the first 10 people who purchase it. So head over to Wager Talk and grab that play. 2 games left to go. Green Bay and San Fran. Help. Wanted a running back who could make it through the game. That's the ad in the classified section in San Francisco. My God, this team, I mean, every single running back has gotten injured. I don't know who's running the ball this Sunday. It'll be interesting to watch. Green Bay, man, they showed they have a really well-balanced offense. Look, I'm going to take that first game of the season for Green Bay and just shove it out the door. I don't believe it. It was a total anomaly. The game got away from them. End of story, move on. Let's look at how they played against Detroit. And what was most fascinating to me was honestly how many times they ran the ball. This is a team that is finding a balanced style attack after a disaster week 1. Detroit ran a cover 2 game plan against Green Bay, held 2 guys back, didn't let Aaron Rodgers stretch the field, but it didn't work. Aaron Jones had a monster of a game, and now teams need to be scared of the Green Bay run game. What does that do? That means the free safety pinches up. They put 7 in the box. That opens up the pass game and the play action pass. Watch Rodgers go off. I'm not ready to anoint the Niners as the best team in the NFC, and frankly was underwhelmed by their offensive performance last week against the Eagles. Jimmy G just wasn't good, guys. He was literally over and under throwing wide receivers all game long. Even one of the touchdowns that San Fran scored was a throw behind the receiver who happened to catch it and run it into the field. The Niners D gave up a lot of big plays last week, but they did keep the Eagles out of the end zone. Good luck doing that against the Pack. If I'm getting 3.5 points with Aaron Rodgers, I'm all over that. I like Green Bay, and I think you guys should put a little bit of money on the money line. Monday Night Football, Philly versus Dallas. Help! As in, has anyone seen Zeke Elliott? Dallas didn't win the game against the Chargers. The Chargers lost the game against the Chargers. The Chargers were flagged 12 times for 99 yards, 2 of which took touchdowns off the board, and 6 that took away first downs. Plus, they threw an interception in the end zone and a missed field goal. Dallas did not look great on Sunday against the Chargers. Tale of 2 games. Philly, that's their story. Their offense looked incredible against the Falcons and were completely anemic against the Niners. Jalen Hurts put up 191 yards all game, and one of those plays were for 91 yards. So take that one play out and he put up 100 yards in the air. Oiga vault. I mean, with that said, he gets to play the woeful Dallas defense, so I do expect a better performance from him. I think we saw an anomaly in week 1, not week 2 with this Philadelphia team. I don't think they're nearly as good as they were week 1. I don't think they're as bad as they were week 2, but I do think they lean closer to how they were on week 2. With that said, their defense is absolutely outstanding. I like the under in this game, guys, 52 points, and I like Dallas as well. And that's the entire NFL Week 3 board, top to bottom, sides and totals on almost every single game. And now it's time to turn our attention to the prop segment of this show. Andy Lang will be joining us weekly as well, frankly, in a nutshell and bottom line. He's a hell of a lot better at prop bets than me. Andy Lang, I hand the microphone to you.
Thanks, Prez. Yeah, let's continue the run on props. All the premium plays on wagertalk.com did fantastic, including cashing another 5%. Full disclosure, didn't do great on the show last week, so I want to come back strong. Got 3 plays that I really, really love. Let's get into it. I'm going to give a Thursday night play to start with. I'll take the Panthers minus 3.5 in the first half. Texans are going to be starting Davis Mills. I think it's a big step down from Tyrod Taylor. I actually like this Texans team to be underrated coming into the season with Taylor. We cashed a plus 186 ticket on him to throw over 1.5 touchdowns in week 1. But without him, it's just going to be a lot to ask with Davis Mills against the Carolina defense, who has allowed 0 points in the first 2 weeks in the first half against the Jets and the Saints. They have scored 16 and 17 points in their first 2 games in the first halves, which means they've won the first half in 2 weeks by a combined score of 34-0. So I really, really like this play. Carolina defense is under the radar. Sam Darnold is completing 68.4% of his passes. McCaffrey's healthy. Carolina gets out early and wins the first half by a touchdown. Next play, Ryan Tannehill will not throw an interception. Titans really got back to their strong suit in the second half last week, giving the ball to Derrick Henry in a big comeback win at Seattle. And the Titans get the Colts, and the method to victory for Tennessee is obvious. Give the ball to Derrick Henry. Take advantage of the Colts' bad quarterback situation. Don't turn the ball over. Derrick Henry in his last 4 games against the Colts has rushed for 512 yards. That's 5.8 yards a carry and 5 touchdowns. Tannehill against the Colts last 4 games, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. think Tennessee uses the run game. Tannehill is going to protect the ball and not turn it over. So give me Tannehill to not throw an interception. And don't forget about the kicker props. Dustin Hopkins over 1.5 made field goals. Washington can move the ball, but they just can't quite punch the ball in the end zone like the other teams. And this really helps Hopkins. He's made 3 field goals in each of the first couple games. I think he gets to 2 made field goals this week. And moving forward, this is a play I think you can take every week with Heineke as quarterback. That is Dustin Hopkins over 1.5 made field goals. Play it for the next 4 or 5 weeks. I think you're going to have 3 or 4 wins.
Andy Lang, everybody, outstanding stuff. Can't thank you enough for joining us. The NFL Presidential Address, everybody. If Andy thinks of a prop, you need to know what it is. Now up, best bets and the teaser segment of this show. Our best bets last week, 2-1. The week before, 2-1. We're 4-2 year-to-date on best bets. And my 3 best bets for you guys are Arizona, Cleveland, and the Cincinnati Bengals. That's the Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Those are my 3 best bets. Don't fear the chalk on Arizona and Cleveland, and throw a little bit on Cincy on the money line. This Pittsburgh team is just awful. Anyway, teasers, 2-0 year-to-date. Won them both. I got a 2-team 6-point teaser for you guys. Cleveland, we cross 7, we cross 3. And Denver, we cross 10, and we cross 7. That's a 2-team 6-point teaser on Cleveland and Denver. As for your Survivor pick, guys, I'm likely going to go with Denver. Anybody playing Survivor is super important to try to find, I don't want to say the best teams, put aside the top 5-7 teams and try to hold on to them for as long as possible. You cannot win Survivor in week 3. I like Denver. That's the one I'm going to take for my Circa play. Love you all. Thanks so much. I will be checking out the comments on YouTube. I will be responding to most of you. It is a privilege to do this show and a pleasure as well. We will see you all next week on week 4 for the NFL Presidential Address.